Judge overseeing Sean Combs' criminal case in New York has just ruled on whether or not the rapper's rights were violated when his materials were searched and photographed while...
If he is found guilty of all charges, how long could he be convicted, or how long could he be sentenced to?
I'm afraid that he may never see the light of day. I mean, these are extraordinarily serious felonies that he's been charged with. So if he's found guilty on some or all of them, I think he'd be a very old man by the time he's out, if he gets out at all.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, spent a harrowing year in federal custody. He says for someone used to a life of luxury like Diddy, prison life is a...
Shocking new footage from inside prison has surfaced showing Diddy in a full-blown panic. This changes everything. The video is spreading like wildfire. It shows Diddy pacing back and forth, talking fast, and looking seriously stressed out. Fans and critics are going crazy, wondering if Diddy is finally reaching his breaking point, or if he knows something the rest of us do not. The pressure is clearly getting to him, and this latest twist is making people ask even more questions about what is really going on behind those prison walls.
500 years. No, just call it life, dog.
Speculation is exploding as reports suggest Diddy was seen panicking inside the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The internet is buzzing over the leaked footage, showing him in a state of serious distress, completely different from the confident image he usually shows while waiting for his trial. Diddy is now reportedly under tight watch as the investigation around him keeps heating up. People everywhere are asking what is really going on behind the scenes.
Jake, so the magistrate judge overseeing this hearing today has remanded Sean Diddy Combs into custody after he was charged with that trafficking case. He was let out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals, and he will be held in federal detention as this case moves forward. Now, this followed a lengthy hearing with both prosecutors and Diddy's attorneys arguing reasons why he should be kept behind bars and why he should be released. Diddy's lawyers saying that he has taken voluntary steps, including turning over his passport to his lawyers, saying he would report any of his movements to prosecutors. But the judge finding that that was just not enough. She said, "My concern is that this is a crime that happened behind closed doors, even when pretrial services..."
Adjusting to life behind bars has been a major struggle for Diddy, who is used to living large. Reports say he faced a serious meltdown during Christmas, finding it hard to deal with spending the holidays locked up. The shift from luxury to prison life is hitting him hard, and people are watching to see how he holds you.
Looks like reality is starting to set in. Diddy's huge prison meltdown revealed as rapper remains in hellhole jail. They're saying that Sean Diddy Combs had a festive meltdown in a notorious hellhole prison because he couldn't believe he was still behind bars there, it was claimed. A panicked Diddy reportedly pleaded with guards to be taken to a prison hospital for observation, claiming he thought he was having a breakdown on Thursday. The guards at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center refused his requests, according to a source close to the rapper who was locked up in September.
Reports say Diddy asked to be taken to the hospital during this episode, saying he was going through extreme emotional and physical distress, but prison authorities reportedly denied his requests, saying his condition did not qualify for outside medical care. His legal team is now calling this decision unfair, saying it shows how tough and uncaring the prison system can be. People are now questioning if he is really getting the help he needs.
I think because of everything that's going on, everything that's coming out, that again, the reality is setting in that I actually may not be getting up out of here. It's really starting to hit him, you know, with all the trying to make bells and all this stuff. And then maybe he caught wind of what's going on with Jay-Z and how Jay-Z is willing to throw him under the bus to get his name separated from him. So all of that is just coming at him real fast. Yeah.
On top of everything, Diddy is reportedly frustrated by the attention fellow inmate Luigi Minon is getting. Sources say Diddy feels overshadowed and is not happy about Manon's rise in popularity inside the prison. This new dynamic is adding even more tension to his situation and people are wondering how he is really handling all of this.
Whole meltdown over the holiday and federal holding because he couldn't believe that he had to spend Christmas locked up even though he's facing all of these charges. According to reports from employees inside the Metropolitan Detention Center, Diddy had a meltdown over Christmas because he couldn't believe that after offering $50 million and hiring the best lawyers that money could buy, that he would still be stuck in there for Christmas. Only some rich yak-off like Diddy could think that he could actually buy his way out of a situation like this. In fact, he was crying and sobbing so bad that he asked to go to medical or be taken to the hospital, and they told him, nah, deal with it. This might sound a little harsh to anybody who's never been incarcerated, but trust me when I say they do not care about your mental well-being when you are incarcerated. Especially if you think you're special or that you've got something coming. Holy crap, they hate that in there. Get used to it, Diddy. You're gonna spend a whole lot more Christmases behind.
Diddy is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, the same place where R. Kelly was previously locked up. This jail is known for having a tough reputation with many people calling out its harsh and inhumane conditions. All eyes are now on how Diddy is coping in a place like this.
Old Luigi, he may have something to talk about with old Sean P. Diddy Do It Combs, because apparently old Diddy is throwing tantrums about the attention that his fellow inmate, Luigi Mangione, has taken from inside the New York City lockup. And it has put Luigi Mangione on the disgraced rapper's bad or naughty list. Can you believe it? So when Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested on sex trafficking charges back in September, he was the most famous prisoner at the Metropolitan Detention Center there in Brooklyn. Obviously, there's been lots of people that have been at that facility, but at the time, he was the big dog on campus, apparently. But after Mangione was arrested and for allegedly gunning down the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December, he was booked into the same facility as old P.
Brooklyn is known for having some of the toughest prison conditions. Inmates have reported constant violence, bad medical care, and food that is sometimes dirty and filled with bugs. The stories coming out of this place are wild, and people are now thinking about how Diddy is really dealing with all of this behind those walls. Many people call this place hell on earth. It is known for being overcrowded, understaffed, and full of constant danger. Inmates face rough conditions with barely any medical help and terrible living spaces. The tension is always high, and for someone like Diddy, who is used to luxury, and having control this harsh new reality could be completely overwhelming.
Combs has been denied bail in connection with sexual abuse and trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called hell on earth. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is notorious for its appalling living conditions and rampant violence. How bad is it inside this federal lockup? There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, and numerous stabbings and lockdowns in recent years. It's so out of control inside that 4 federal judges are reportedly refusing to send any more prisoners here. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, spent a harrowing year in federal custody. He says for someone used to a life of luxury like Diddy, prison life is a severe shock.
You have a desk, you have a plastic chair, you have your bed with a 1.5-inch mattress, no pillow, and you also have a locker. So you basically have 3 feet by 5 feet to move around. So you have a basic 15 square feet. It is a horrible.
Inmates have shared stories about constant fights, self-harm, and almost no medical help. The place has been called hell on earth because of its filthy conditions. People have reported food covered in bugs, mold growing in the showers, and broken lights all over the facility. It is a rough environment that is making people wonder how anyone can survive in there, especially someone like Diddy.
After a judge denied his request for bail a second time, and the place where he's locked up now getting a lot of attention. The Metropolitan Detention Center, the only federal jail in New York City, is known for violence, poor conditions, and a string of celebrity detainees. And Diddy's attorneys want him out.
Karen Lindsay, who used to be a warden at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, has raised big concerns about Diddy's safety during his time inside. Lindsay pointed out that Diddy's fame and the serious situation around him could make him a target. Some inmates might see going after him as a way to earn respect or show power Because of this, Diddy is now being kept in the special housing unit away from other prisoners to try and keep him safe.
Sean Diddy Combs back in court to request bail, complains of horrific New York City jail conditions. My opinion, this dude, is he for real requesting bail? This is the same dude who conveniently skipped town when the authorities were raiding his houses, talking about, oh, I didn't know y'all were looking for me, fellas. Well, now you know, so could you come back in town? Because we got some questions for you. But I tell you what, after my vacation, I'll be right in to answer all your questions. Like, does he think the judge is stupid? If he gets bail, that guy is gone forever, off to some country with no extradition treaty, living a lube-room-having lifestyle, because he's got the money, and apparently a lot of lube for some reason. No, buddy. You stay right there. You're right where you belong. But it's so uncomfortable. Like there's no oceanfront view, no state-of-the-art gym. They got me sleeping on a twin mattress. It's not even a memory foam mattress. It's so uncomfortable. Yo, it's jail. It's not supposed to be comfortable. Like, why do these rich people think, oh, I'm gonna be living a life in jail? No, my friend. Suck it up. Actually, you know what? Don't suck up anything in jail. Don't do that. And that's your thing. Like, don't let me impose my thinking on you. You live your lifestyle. You live your truth. Now, what if after years of being in jail, Diddy comes out of prison, he's more open. And like, maybe his friends are like, how was it, Diddy? And he's like, oh, it was great. Really? Oh, yeah, bro. I got my pushed in, bro. Let me see who catches that movie reference.
While this setup lowers the risk of direct attacks, Lindsay explained that the special housing unit is extremely strict with almost no recreation, very little social contact, and tight daily routines. The entire facility is known for its brutal conditions and stories of corruption, which makes it even harder for high-profile inmates like Diddy to handle the pressure inside this place.
You say his fame makes him a target.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population, but the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, and indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target. So obviously they need to safeguard.
Diddy's move from a life of luxury to being locked up is a huge shift. Now stuck in the special housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center, he is facing tough rules like being in his cell for 23 hours a day, eating basic meals, and getting almost no recreation. The isolation and rough conditions could seriously affect his mental health. This is a major...
We were told that he used to eat delicious things like duck and chicken, but now it's downgraded to some potatoes. Not a very appetizing meal that he had last night. And by the way, if you've heard of MDC Brooklyn, this detention center, it's probably because R. Kelly has stayed there, Fetty Wap has stayed there, Michael Cohen, Allison Mack, and Ghislaine Maxwell. A lot of famous people have gone here before. Really, really rough.
As his legal battle moves forward, Diddy will have to focus on building his defense against charges that could bring some of the toughest penalties, including life behind bars. His public image and career are already taking serious hits, and the weight of these allegations could change everything for him forever.
Diddy hired these men, orchestrated all of these freak-offs, purchased multiple hotel rooms for these freak-offs to take place, had his staff stock the rooms with different items, drugs, lube, extra sheets, things of that nature for the freak-off, didn't allow individuals to not participate in the freak-off. And one of the ways that he did that was by using drugs in order to get them to a state of mind so that they would participate, or he would use the tapes as extortion to force them into these freak-offs.
Even if he is found not guilty, the damage and mental scars from this experience will probably stay with him for life. Diddy, who once lived in huge mansions and threw massive parties, is now sitting alone in a small cell with none of the luxury and comfort he used to know. The contrast is impossible to ignore.
And he did all of this for his own perverted, twisted benefit. I don't know if he was participating in these. I don't know if he was getting off to these videos that he was making. Who knows? This is crazy. I don't know how else to put it. It's crazy. It's terrible. The amount of people whose lives have been forever affected by this. I just want to know some more information, and I want to know who else is involved in this, because I have a feeling that this is going to be massive for the next 2, 3, 4 years. And
VP, who used to be part of Diddy's Making the Band, recently spoke on the Art of Dialogue podcast, where he shared that he knows a lot about what went on behind the scenes during their time working together. He claimed that Diddy used his power to control artists and took advantage of their financial struggles. These comments are adding more fuel to the growing conversation about Diddy's past and how he treated people around him.
See, Puff, it's kind of a surprise, but like I told my brother, man, you know, he was telling me he don't think Puff gonna get locked up. I say, bitch, they got Chapo. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you earlier, they got Chapo. They could put Chapo under the ground, they could hire Puff. But it's just long overdue. Like for a while, it made me kind of question, like, damn, you know? It's to the point where it felt like they forced the feds to do their job. He forced the feds to do their job, because if they didn't do it, everybody looking at them like, what, do you motherfuckers exist? You know what I'm saying? Like, he done got away with too much, but you gotta understand this, right?
Freddie P also suggested that Diddy kept people loyal by giving them financial benefits, which made them less likely to speak out. This created a culture where people stayed silent and looked the other way. These claims are now making people think even further about the power Diddy had over those in his circle.
And so, but we make our own bed, man. And for a long time, a lot of people, I want him to understand that a lot of people was hurt because you couldn't live your truth. Everything he going through right now is because he couldn't let go. He couldn't let go having a position of power over street niggas, and also being who he is.
Footage showing Diddy panicking in prison. Does this change the way you see his situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you stand on all of this.